Welcome to Backstage Pas. I'm Samantha Powell, and I'm joined with Ben Barnard, and this is the InfoComm edition. So hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing well, Sam. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's been a minute since I've seen you. I think the last time was at ISC.
I know. What an incredible show. What an incredible show for AVIXA TV as well. 20th anniversary, 20th edition of ISC. It was just, so much going on. What have you been up to in the meantime?
Oh my goodness. A lot of travel, some fun, some for work. Gone to really a lot of good shows, industry shows. So learning a lot about some of the latest and greatest technology in AV and just getting a lot of education about our industry. So things have been quite busy. What about you?
Nice, yeah. So a little bit of both as well, like you. We went to the LTSMG show, Learning and Teaching Spaces Managers Group. That's an organisation here in the UK that we work with. So that was great. In fact, I did a presentation there when we were talking about some facts and figures about ISE. So giving them the information, attendance figures, how the kind of demographics have changed, how they're evolving, which was really cool. And then I also went on vacation. I went to India for 2.5 weeks. That was incredible. Yeah,
oh my gosh. Well, that is a vacation.
It was. I mean, it's the longest vacation I've taken since like before the pandemic. So that was really nice to get out, have some time off, rest, relax, recuperate, as it's always important to do. But it was fantastic. So I look forward to seeing you in Vegas, where we can catch up more in person. Speaking of which, it's only a few weeks till the show.
It's happening and it's coming up so quickly, and I know you mentioned Vegas, so a little birdie told me that you will be co-hosting with me in Vegas this year.
That's the plan. I'm so excited. Really looking forward to it. We obviously had an amazing time in Barcelona. It was really well received. It was lovely to work with you on camera, as well as all the rest of the team behind the scenes. And I feel like it's going to be just another step in this amazing journey. So really looking forward to coming to Vegas and seeing you there.
Have you been to InfoComm before?
Yeah, so I've been to the show maybe 5-6 times, but the way it worked out, I've only been to Vegas once for the show. So all the other times I was in Orlando. So I'm not super familiar with it.
Okay.
But it's, I remember it being, full on last time. So, because obviously it's an amazing place to go. Got so much AV technology there, so much cool stuff. And with that the whole thing of Sphere now being there, being open and being so heavily kind of covered in AV technology, the screens, the displays, the projection, the IPMX thing that's happening, networking all of those devices and stuff. It's, I can't wait to get there and discover. What are you looking forward to about the show this year?
Well, it's definitely going to be a jam-packed show, as it always is. And Vegas there's always some excitement going on. There's always something to keep you up late, parties and networking and things like that. I'm really excited and looking forward to our opening ceremony that is happening at Sphere. So got to take a little sneak peek of Sphere and a little bit of the space and all the things that are going to be going on. So that's really going to be exciting for attendees. Just overall, just the excitement of the show. I know we've been working with a lot of our great strategic partners, and they've got some fun events going on. So looking forward to meeting up with them, and just everybody at the show. And also just doing AVIXA TV again with you. So very much looking forward to that as well. What about you?
Yeah, very much the same. I mean, it's always amazing to just walk the halls and see all the technologies that's out there. Get a look at things up close and personal. You've got real kind of subject matter experts there. You can ask all your questions, and hopefully we'll get a chance to film some segments like favorite things and all that kind of stuff. But definitely looking forward to getting on set, working in our Vegas set. It's going to be super exciting. I know in Barcelona we were doing one show a day, but because of how things work in Vegas, I'm going to be doing a couple of shows per day. So that studio's, we're going to get our money out of that studio, I'm sure. And I think we're going to be working with Ross Video. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and we're going to be working with Ross Video, which is really exciting too. I know that they've been working really hard on getting everything sorted. So looking forward to getting on set And speaking of which, I believe for our first segment of this podcast, Noreen, our colleague Noreen, spoke to Sam Minish, also a colleague of ours, and Matt Morgan from Ross Video about about everything that's happening there and the AVIXA TV studio. So why don't we have a look at that segment?
Let's take a peek.
What's going on, everybody? Noreen here, and today I'm here to share something very cool. And as you may know, I'm pretty involved in the AVIXA TV stuff, and this year, InfoComm, we're dialing things to the next level, and I'm pretty excited. So here's what's happening. AVIXA recently announced a very exciting partnership with Ross Video. Yes, that Ross Video. So here to discuss this are two awesome humans. So first, I want to introduce Sam Minish, Vice President of Content Delivery at AVIXA. Sam, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing all right. How are you, Matt?
It's a nice
Doing
day.
good. Glad to be here.
Excellent. And as you can see right there, our friend from Ross is Matt. He is the Business Development Manager at Ross. So Matt, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
Excellent. We'll get right into it. So the first one I'm going to hand over to you, Sam. So I would like to ask you, tell us a little bit about this partnership, because it's pretty unique and pretty exciting. I know I said exciting a lot, but, extra emphasis points.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this partnership, the AVIXA TV studio, and who might be interested in visiting this at InfoComm.
Yeah. Great questions. Excited is definitely the right word. I think giddy is another word that gets tossed around recently. For those of you who have been fans of AVIXA TV for a while, it started a few years ago, actually, as purely as a bridge, right? As a tool between, during the pandemic when not as many people could travel. And it has evolved immensely over the last couple of years. I mean, production quality, you guys have been cranking it up. The stories that we tell, the people we talk to, the reach of our products and of the opportunities, it was really designed to help take the messages and take the opportunities beyond the convention center walls, take them global, and really highlight stuff that you might not otherwise have gotten a chance to see. So then, as with, I feel like the best partnerships, it was sort of one of those like serendipitous. Matt and I were at an event together, and we were talking about, actually, it was Upstream, which is coming again here later this summer. So we were hanging out in London and talking about the opportunities with virtual production and live streaming, and how the crossover with AV is just like, the lines are being blurred so much between what used to be like pure broadcasting and pure AV. And so we got to chit-chatting, and we knew that something was there. And so we've been working on this for a while. It's been evolving a lot. What we knew is that we really wanted to showcase what a very workable, very obtainable solution is for you to bring to your corporate environment, like that an integrator would most likely be installing for an actual customer. And that has been, sort of the center of everything we're doing, right? We are doing very, very cool things with very accessible technology, right? This is something that fits within budgets. This is something that is very practical to put together. I mean, if we can build it on a trade show floor, you can totally put it into your office or any other installation. So, virtual production has become, it's definitely the hot topic. It was talked about tons last year. It was talked about tons at ISE. And so bringing that to life through AVIXA TV, it was just sort of one of those, you started here and then you added this thing and this thing and this thing. And all of a sudden we have one of the coolest projects I think I've worked on in a really, really long time.
Yeah, I can really concur about the coolest project part, because, having a hand in it and kind of the build towards it, it is really, really, really cool. And we've honestly really done nothing like this before. So being a part of it's just really cool. And I hope people are able to experience it and feel the same way as well when they see this. So Sam, you mentioned something about beyond the walls. I think that's a perfect way to put virtual production into context, because it really is, you're transporting things into different places, like within, you think about the confines of the convention floor, right? You can go anywhere, which is great. So with that, I think, Matt, thinking about beyond the walls and virtual production, I'm interested to hear what some of the technologies that you and Ross are going to be utilizing in this space.
Yeah, so the goal here was for Ross to be able to partner with AVIXA to provide a full solution. So someone who's coming by the booth, or is maybe watching on the other side of the screen, they say, I want to look into that, or how do I do this? They can have all the answers in one place. And that was the goal, and that's the overall goal of what Ross is trying to accomplish with the solutions that we're providing and putting out nowadays. And I'm really pleased with how that's been going. The product development team sometimes are a little secretive, a little hush hush, but they've really been listening to the AV community and to the words from AVIXA and things like that. So we're hoping to showcase that and what you can really do in the AV world, kind of merging with this broadcast world. So we're going to be providing a whole suite of solutions. So everything from routing and switching using our Carbonite Ultra 60 platform, along with our touch drive panels, which are brand new in the last year or two. So that's a really cool solution for just a straight up production with video switching, things like that. And then we're also, the other big part is leveraging Voyager, which uses Unreal Engine to go beyond those walls, like you mentioned. So we'll have two different versions of this. We'll have a panel discussion, and in that panel discussion, we'll be able to leverage Voyager in a tracked environment to have interactive graphics, lower thirds, different things like that. And then we'll also have a trackless environment where we can put the presenter anywhere. And like you said, go beyond those walls. And it's really cool to see all of it come together and to partner with AVIXA and make this all happen. And oh yeah, we're also doing robots. And robots are just cool and a lot of fun. So that's kind of the high overview there. I don't want to give too much away. I want people to be a little bit intrigued and come by and interact. But the whole purpose is to interact, be able to come to the show floor and to ask questions and walk away with real information that's tangible, like Sam mentioned, and something that you can use and you can practically use quickly. Something that's efficient, something that helps you maximize your team's budgets and also resources that you have. So I'm really excited about the solution that's coming together for it.
Okay, I see you, Matt. I see you bringing up all the cool technologies and all that. As someone who loves everything you just mentioned, that just makes this the full package for me, right? Like it's going to be pretty cool to see all of that stuff in action and in practice. I think that's important. We're like really curious. People are curious to see the solutions and all of that as they come to the show. So seeing something from AVIXA, from Ross, put into practice this is what you can do. That's really cool to me. So I think people are going to be really excited for that, and especially the robots part. No one told me about robots.
When in
Sam,
doubt,
did you know about
robots.
the robots? What's that?
So when in doubt, robots.
When in doubt, robots. The good kind, though, right? So. That's another conversation for another day, I would say.
Yeah.
But, amongst all the cool technologies, how all this comes together, right? And Sam, I know there's going to be different events happening at the booth as well. So if you can touch on that a little bit and tell us, what are some things that people can expect as they're coming to see this space, to see this booth, different types of events and things that are going to be happening.
Yeah, happy to. I mean, what's really cool and sort of the challenge that we gave ourselves is that we wanted to create a solution that had to serve dual purposes, right? It obviously has to support the AVIXA TV live streams. Those are going to be, we've got, let's see here, 7 different live streams, I think, throughout the week, including one in Spanish. And so the purpose of those live streams is to, talk about beyond the wall, right? It's to reach globally. We've timed it so that it's more friendly for East Coast. It's going to be a little late, but still very accessible for Europe, right? It's designed to be able to reach people who aren't able to attend InfoComm. And that's always been sort of the premise, right? Is sometimes things change. You can't be there. We get it. We hope you're there because there's really cool stuff. The live stream has to be able to reach that audience that isn't present, right? But at the same time, we're in the middle of the show floor. We're at InfoComm, right? We've still got tens of thousands of our favorite people milling all around us. And so we had to design it to not only reach those people and serve this live stream audience, but also serve those who are physically there. And that's where we've added in some new elements this year. So we're going to be doing, you can watch actual podcasts being recorded in live and in person, right? You can sit there and you can see the production. We have not hidden the text behind walls or anything like that. You can stand behind them, watch what they're doing, see how they're putting this entire production together for these different types of formats that you probably are going to be taking back to your own companies. And the other thing that I can tell you that I'm personally excited by, it's not just because they're partners, I swear, but Ross is actually going to be running like hands-on workshop demos every day, because we know that this is still pretty new technology, and certainly this application of it and the accessibility of it is something that just didn't exist even a couple years ago. And so being able to highlight that, we know that people want to be able to get hands-on. They want to see how they could use this and apply it to their own projects, to their own companies, to their own roadmaps. And so we've designed these workshops, we've designed these podcasts, right? So that you can get a different feel for how these things come together. You can actually come and get that walkthrough of how all the different elements come together, how we're working with, we've got lots of complementary partners too, right? That we're working with, and they're bringing their technology as well. And so you can see how this isn't just, a video studio, right? It is a full, complete solution. And all the content that we've designed, both for the live stream and for sort of in between the live stream, is really designed to showcase how this is a full package. And then, of course, if don't have time for workshops, don't have time to sit down very long, that's cool. If you catch us at the right time, we might be able to put you in one of those cool environments that Matt and Noreen were talking about, where we can put you pretty much anywhere. That is, I'm going to give away too much. I'm not going to tell you where we're going to put you, but that's going to be very, very cool. So you got to stop by and at the very least, make sure you get yourself set up in one of those spots.
Excellent. You mentioned very, very cool. And because of how hot it is in Vegas, I really hope it is somewhere really, really cool. Like, just send me the Antarctica or something.
Just after sending that out into the universe. Send me out to the cold universe. Just got to cool down with all that Vegas heat, right? Especially.
Excellent. So I think as we're thinking beyond the Hollywood and the broadcast and all these applications, Matt, I know people tend to think about virtual production being something that's very Hollywood or very broadcasty. And there are people like utilizing it for those applications, but there's more to it, right? Like there's more to this technology. So I'm curious to hear from you about, where's this technology going? Where do you see it going beyond?
Yeah, I feel like when I explain it, I try to think of like my dad, who is technology illiterate. I'm like, when you watch sports and the things that you see that aren't really there, but they're there, like that's what you can do. And so it's the same thing. You can do the same thing in a corporate environment and in an education environment. We have tons of universities who partner with us to create these virtual studios to teach their students about it. And then empowers them to go out afterwards and get, take that education and put it into practice even outside of a news station. So in corporations, things like that. And I was on a panel yesterday and we were talking about kind of the three phases of technology recently, which is like the pre-pandemic, then the pandemic, and then now the post-pandemic. And the pre-pandemic was like you would maybe see something every once in a while from a really big corporation, and it seemed super far out of reach. And in a lot of ways it was. Then you had kind of during, where everyone was scrambling and what's happening. And I would say that's where things really get kicked off with way more corporations in different verticals of what we would consider to be corporate started looking into different options. So they can't fly their people around everywhere. And think about like fashion. The fashion industry, they couldn't fly models all over the world, so they needed a way to still push products because people were ordering online like crazy. So you have tons of revenue being created by a lot of these fashion manufacturers, and they're able to send their models all over the world, but really they're just in a studio somewhere in front of a green screen or an LED wall. And then, you kind of come to a more everyday life practical side, and you've got CEOs now who are using iPads to talk to CNN and to talk to their stakeholders and their shareholders for their companies. And that iPad falls over, and now it's looking at the ceiling. Real things like really happened, really big corporation. And that happens once typically. And now a team is charged with figuring out a way to leverage new technology and be creative. So we've seen it from everything from the food and beverage industry to finance to insurance, energy. They're leveraging in manufacturing, leveraging green screen and leveraging XR LED environments to be able to highlight products, to put their people in different spaces. Sometimes that seems really daunting, but honestly, it's as simple as having a really sharp green screen with a element behind you that looks like a window, like you're in an office on whatever floor of a skyscraper. And it's just as simple as that. And if you don't know that that's a green screen, you'd never know. But then 5 minutes later, that same room could be leveraged as a backdrop with a company logo all over it. And it looks like they're just standing in front of a company logo. So we're seeing a ton of shift towards this because it really is a pretty simple and cost-effective solution to have way more flexibility without having to send people all over the planet anymore. It's kind of a bummer for some people, but it's pretty cost effective for most CFOs to be able to invest in. And what we know from a lot of surveys that have gone out is that even though money is a bit tighter right now, most CEOs and CTOs are planning on leveraging technology to increase their communications. And that communication has to be sharp. It has to work. They can't have failure when they're trying to convince their stockholders that everything's okay. They want to appear sharp. They want it to be really good and really powerful communications, and to keep that engagement up with their employees and their audiences, internal and external. So that's where we're seeing a lot of this growth in leveraging these virtual solutions, which is why it's so exciting to be at InfoComm with them, because InfoComm is the one place that people from all over different verticals and different markets come together to figure out what to do next, or what's happening, or what can they leverage. So there's a lot that's going on inside of this kind of new world of the convergence with AV and broadcast. And I think it's going to be taking off in the next few years, especially. So really good time to get involved with it and come check it out.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the new world. It really is a new world, right? We're transporting people to different environments and stuff, such as deep space in Antarctica.
I didn't mean to send you to the far reaches of the universe.
Yes, absolutely. So quick lightning round questions for the both of you. Speaking of taking things to the next level, there's going to be a ton of cool technologies, a ton of cool experiences, and talks and a lot of all that jazz over at InfoComm 2024. So what I'm curious to hear from the both of you, starting with you, Sam, is what are you looking forward to the most at InfoComm? And also, what are you looking forward specifically at the AVIXA TV studio?
I have to say, this sounds cliche, but like my favorite part of InfoComm is seeing everybody, right? So much of our interactions are virtual. I spend my entire day in front of a video cam. I'm sure everybody else does, right? And that's very practical, and you got to have those solutions for most of the year. But there's something that's just great about being able to hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee, and just being able to sit down and have a quick chat about, life and how it all comes together. And there is something different about that in-person element. And I say that as, a big proponent of live streaming and, virtual connections and all of that. but there's just really something about being able to see people in actual real life. I feel like our industry tends to hug a lot, certainly like fist bump, and you can't do that when it just, it doesn't work. So, I think that's what I'm most excited about for InfoComm. For AVIXA TV specifically, I spent a lot of years in and working for broadcast companies, like traditional broadcasters. And so to be able to see technology that I recognize, right, that I know is blurring so deeply into Pro AV now, and to see this completely new application for it, that's what I'm excited about, right? I mean, we've got, it's a pretty straightforward set, right? You got your green screen, you've got your desk, you've got your place. Like, it's a pretty simple setup but when you just find the right elements, like what Ross is bringing in, that just take it to a whole other level, right? It's no longer just a desk. It's no longer just a green screen. All of a sudden, you're transported to these mystery places that you'll have to come see us to find out. Or, you can just take like this setup, right, with our desk. And all of a sudden, it's not just here's the desk, here's the people, open the doors. This we all went there. You've got this, but with the set extension, right, all of a sudden, even the elements in a relatively limited space can go so much further, right? We are not limited by physical space anymore. You can take the elements that are important to drive the point home and all of that, and you can just literally extend it above, left, right, center. And you can do so much more with a relatively straightforward application. So that's what I'm excited about, and definitely going to nerd out pretty hard when it all comes together.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm same as far as, the getting together part. It's like you connect with so many people now virtually that when you get together and you see people from all over the globe coming together to reconnect and, get just collaborate and find their takeaways to take back home and integrate into their daily lives and their work lives. It's fun to just kind of take a step away from that and connect and see what everyone's doing. And but as far as the show goes, like on the floor, it's great. Like I get to work with a lot of consultants who they might not even know what an SDI cable is, and so they never spec it, but they're really interested in the products and what they might be able to do. So it's having those kind of conversations, and you start seeing the light bulbs go off of like, oh, this is what this new technology can do for us in this space, right? So like we'll have a lot of people come up and say, I don't use switchers, or I don't do that much broadcasts. And it's like, well, it can be so many more things now. Like this is what you can do. And that's not just a Ross thing. That's an industry-wide thing. So you've got the support of a whole nother industry coming in, and they're showing up at AVIXA events and at InfoComm. And so it's really cool to see kind of this industry adoption and also welcome into this new space with a whole nother group of people. So I'm really excited for that. I really love seeing like the light bulb moments, the aha moments, and kind of being a part of that and ideating. And the best thing about me is that I'm not that technical, and I know enough to be dangerous. So like I love to create with people and then say, hey, here's a guy I know that can help you finish that off. That's the best part of being a BDM, right? Like you just get to talk to people and do cool stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. For the studio space, I'm just super excited to see everyone come together to learn about a practical solution on how to have really good communications, how to put something together that keeps engagement high, what allows people to be remote and then come back into the office and it feels seamless. Having technology that, we all, now the device doesn't choose what we do and how we connect. We choose how the device connects with people, and how you can implement that, like that kind of stuff on the booth. And just being a part of all the breakout sessions that Sam mentioned, from the sake of I get to just be there and watch it and learn and hear from other industry experts of what they're doing to increase that engagement across their communication platforms and in their own industries, things like that. So the technology is really cool, but how people leverage the technology is what I love to see and love to hear about. So I feel like that's what pushes it. That's what makes us come up with new technology and makes it more efficient for all of us. So those are kind of my the things I'm looking forward to, my highlight points, and I'm definitely looking forward to those deep space and Antarctica visits potentially. And it'd be great if Sam's just there. You know, you go to Antarctica and there's just like a water bottle, and there's a snowstorm, and
We're gonna do a
it
4D
becomes
experience.
3D. Yeah, it's like Muppet 4D. Yeah, Muppets 4D. I hope we don't get censored, from someone like, oh, you can't do that. But who knows? But yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. And, I'll echo what the both of y'all talked about. To me, it's about the people. It's about how we leverage each other, leverage technology, and just drive each other to be better at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, that's what InfoComm is all about. And hopefully with the AVIXA TV studio at InfoComm, we can help achieve that together. So really excited to see that. Sam, Matt, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been a great conversation, and I think we really went in depth with some of the cool things that we're going to be showing at the AVIXA TV studios, which will be at booth W2645. So hope to see y'all there. But for now, we're going to sign off. So thank you so much for joining us today. And Sam and Ben, back to you. I've always wanted to say that.
Well done.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Noreen, for that great interview there with Ross Video. I'm so excited now for that. It's so good to see all of the fun stuff that's happening with the AVIXA TV studio. I can't wait to get in there.
Absolutely. We are taking things to the next level. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a really great time and put forward a really great show for everybody. And up next, we have our very own Mark Metzger, who interviewed Jeff Stoebner, the CEO of AVI Systems. And I know that they've got a lot of stuff going on in InfoComm. I hear that they have a private lounge with Microsoft, and they're going to be sponsoring, obviously, our Amazing Sphere event. So really looking forward to that, as well as the Esports Live 2.0 that's going to be happening on the show. I'm not much of a gamer, but I'm going to try to get into it so I can maybe compete a little and maybe, like crush it on the floor. I don't know what gamers say. So I'll try. I'll work with that. But yeah, I know that that's going to be an even bigger event. So why don't we take a look and see what they've got going on at InfoComm?
Let's have a look.
Well, I'm joined now by Jeff Stoebner. He's the CEO of AVI Systems. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here with you, Mark.
Thanks so much for joining us. AVI Systems, it's going to be a very busy InfoComm for you all from what it sounds like. Are you excited? We're about 2 months out as of recording this. How are you feeling?
Oh, we're feeling really great. We're investing a lot into what I call the InfoComm experience this year, the exhibition on the show floor, the support of the esports exhibition with AVIXA. We actually have a private lounge for global customers, and then there's the Sphere event, which is huge.
Just a few things going on. Yeah. Well, maybe let's talk about some of those a little bit further. Talk to me a little bit. Let's start with the AVI Systems booth. What's going to be happening over there? What can show attendees look forward to? And tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening at your booth.
Yeah, actually, I would combine our booth with our private lounge, which is just 2 minutes walk from the booth. But we're really focusing on the modern workplace. You'll find a lot of modern workplace applications in those two environments. And in our private lounge, we'll have a deep partnership with Microsoft as well, because I don't believe Microsoft is exhibiting specifically, but you can get your Microsoft fill at both our show floor booth and the private lounge.
Well, great. Well, lots happening on the floor, but also a lot happening outside the show floor as well. I know that we at AVIXA are thrilled to be partnering with AVI Systems to present the opening reception at Sphere. Talk to us a little bit about how did that come together, and what are you most looking forward to seeing at Sphere?
Well, first of all, I think Sphere is likely the highest level audio video experience that exists in the world right now. So what an amazing opportunity for AVI and for AVIXA to partner to bring that experience to all the attendees. And I'm just super excited to spend an evening at the Sphere with several hundred of our clients. That's going to be a very exclusive event, and I think one that's very special. Actually, I think it'll be talked about for years, Mark.
I agree. Yeah. Have you been to Sphere yet? And if so, what have been your impressions?
I have not. I have several friends who have been. U2 concert, for example, and said it's just hard to describe. So I'm really excited to have that experience myself. Probably not U2, but we'll have everything else.
Yeah. Well, I think what I heard, the Rolling Stones and maybe some others are coming to town for Sphere. So it's definitely, it's going to be the destination for live entertainment for many, many years to come.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that there are also other things that are happening, not just at the AVI Systems booth, but at Esports Live 2.0. Really thrilled. Last year was our first year at InfoComm having a space dedicated to esports. AVI Systems was a big part of that as well. Maybe tell us a little bit, what can we look forward to at the 2.0 version this year? Maybe that's different from last year.
Yeah, I mean, first, I think this is all about having experiences, and Sphere is an experience. I think the esports exhibition is an experience. Really excited to have AVIXA leading the charge on that. But this year, actually, it'll be a larger stage. We're going to have more colleges competing in bracketed tournament gameplay. We're going to have a larger production environment. I think there's a large, like LED wall in the back. It'll just be more impactful for the athletes who are there participating and the audience. So if anyone's thinking about esports, you can see the entire workflow of the esports experience right on the exhibition floor.
Yeah. And talk to me a little bit about the potential for esports and AV. I mean, it seems like obviously esports has grown tremendously in recent years, but the opportunity for the pro AV community is pretty significant as well, right?
Yeah, our industry can really bring that live event experience to what is esports, meaning we can put the esports experience on a larger stage and give it that audio video rich experience like you would see if you were in a large stadium. And I think if anyone's not paying attention to esports, you really have to. Because it's likely to be the most significant, at least collegiate, sporting segment into the future. Yeah, really tremendous opportunity for growth. It seems like, in particular on college campuses.
Well, certainly, it's also going to be fairly bittersweet, I think, for both AVI Systems and AVIXA. Brad Sousa was someone who was so instrumental in pulling together the first esports experience at InfoComm. And obviously, for all of us here at AVIXA, I mean, we sat down with him a year ago at doing this interview talking about esports, and we know how much he invested of himself into it. And so obviously it was a tragic loss for the industry as a whole. But AVIXA has been thrilled to be able to present the Brad Sousa Impact Fund, certainly in partnership with AVI Systems. Would love to hear from you. Talk to me a little bit about what did Brad mean to AVI Systems, maybe to you personally, to the industry, and talk to me a little bit about this partnership looking forward and how we're going to be honoring his legacy through the Brad Sousa Impact Fund.
Yeah, thanks. First, there's a lot of amazing people in our industry. We're just full of them. And that's really fun to be a part. I think Brad was one of the more amazing. And it's really because of what he gave back to the industry. It's what he, gave of himself. And I'm not sure most people even kind of know what that was, but he really touched a lot of people. And I worked directly with Brad for 15 years, and the work he did, for our clients, for our business, was only one facet of who he was as a person. I would first describe him as a coach and a mentor. And I would say that many people have accomplished so much more because of Brad. He really pushed our company. He pushed it hard to go to the next level. That was something Brad was always saying, level up, level up. But I mean, if you met Brad at a airport gate waiting for a flight, there's a chance you might be making a career change. Like you're going to go into the audiovisual industry because he could paint this picture of such a bright future, and then he would help you go there. I mean, he has friends for life, just people that he's really pulled forward, and that's just some of who Brad was.
Yeah, yeah. And talk to me a little bit about the Impact Fund as well. I mean, this is going to be an opportunity, like you said, to invest the way that Brad invested himself, right, into people personally. This is going to be a way for us to continue that legacy, right?
Yeah, let me talk about that. Brad was known to be really smart. He had a high intellect, but he could also communicate so effectively. And maybe, you find people like this, like Brad, like myself, didn't have a fancy college degree. We're not byproducts of elite universities. In some cases, we don't even have college degrees. And that's true of Brad and in some ways myself. So the Impact Fund is really going to focus not necessarily on scholarships, which is common and good, but it's going to focus more on moving those forward in the industry that have the creativity, the hard work ethic, that want to go into what is really a magical industry. So the Impact Fund is going to be a little different, and we're so happy that AVIXA is supporting it. Actually, we're raising funds for it right now, and there'll be some announcements on that later, but we're seeing a lot of individual contributions, which we so appreciate. And then we're seeing what I'd call a lot of corporate contributions, Mark, of 5, 10, 15,000. I mean, it's going to be a substantial fund before we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the momentum behind it has been really inspiring to see, really looking forward to being able to release more information and more details about the ways that people within the industry can partner to hopefully continue that impact moving forward.
Yeah,
so
I want just a quick shout out as well for Brad's family, because there's such a family impact when these things happen, but. Whether people know or not, Brad's children are all, invested in this industry as well, whether it's directly in the audio video industry or the recording industry. It's just a great family. And his wife, Janelle, is just the kindest person on the face of the earth. So, we miss Brad.
We do. Yes, we all do for sure. And definitely looking forward, like I said, to be able to use InfoComm, esports, the Brad Sousa Impact Fund to be able to continue his legacy throughout the years. And certainly his family is going to continue that great legacy as well. So, really looking forward to seeing that come to full fruition here in the coming months. So,
thank you.
Jeff, last question for you. We tend to ask people this on the show, but if you had to give some advice to someone going to their very first InfoComm, whether it's, shoes to wear, restaurants to visit, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's attending InfoComm for the very first time?
I would even back it up from that, Mark. I would say, first of all, make the decision to go.
Yeah.
If you're on the fence, go. If you're hearing my voice and you've never thought about the event, learn more about it and go. I think you will see one of the most innovative shows ever. There's been a lot of innovation that's happened in the last 3 years. This is the year I think you'll see it in full force. So get to that show. But build relationships. I mean, we're in an amazing industry. It's full of friendships that are lifelong. I think we support each other. We have each other's backs. So my advice, get into all four corners of the exhibition halls. And, if you're interested in any sort of continuing education, get to the event early and get into the educational events. They're taught by peers, people who have worked their way up. So there's just so much to learn. So that's it, Mark. It's first go, and when you go wide.
Yep. Explore everything, because there is so much to offer in all sorts of different facets. Esports certainly being one of them, but there's got to be something there that is going to be of interest to you.
All kinds.
So yeah.
Yep.
Would absolutely recommend get to InfoComm for your very first time. So, Jeff, I really do appreciate the time. Thank you so much for chatting a little bit about what AVI Systems is going to be doing, a little bit about Brad's impact as well. All the best to you as you all are continuing with finalizing your plans in the lead up to InfoComm, and we'll be seeing you in Vegas here real soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, that was another great interview with Mark and Jeff Stoebner. So thank you so much for that. And it was really impactful to hear, the success and them raising funds for the Brad Sousa Impact Fund. So I'm really happy to hear that, and people can still contribute to that as well.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, a great interview in general, but really, as you say, really good to just reinforce the incredible work that I'm sure the Brad Sousa Impact Fund will be doing in the future. We had the pleasure, obviously, at ISE during AVIXA TV of speaking with Martin Saul from the AVIXA board about Brad Sousa and the Impact Fund. I know that the two of them were great friends. I know Brad probably had many great friends in the industry. So really nice to hear that reinforced and just to know that the message is still there. And if you want to find out more, if anyone listening or watching wants to find out more about that, you can go to avixa.org/Brad Sousa Impact Fund. So next up, I believe, Sam, you had a conversation with John Schreiber at the Las Vegas. Let me do that again. So next up, Sam, I believe you had a conversation with John Schreiber at the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. What did you talk about? It sounds like a really interesting interview.
Yes, it was. So I had an opportunity to fly out to Vegas a little earlier this year and meet up with John. And he's just so knowledgeable about everything in the city and what our attendees have to look forward to when they come to InfoComm. So he gave me a little bit of the lay of the land of some of the new things that are coming into Las Vegas. As our trade show is growing, the city is growing as well. Obviously, Sphere is massive and such. It just brings so many people there who are just interested in that new space and all of that new technology. Talked a little bit about some of the new hotels that have been popping up. I did get to walk through the Fontainebleau, which is very close to the convention center. So
nice.
if you're lucky, try to see if you can get in that hotel. It's really new, really nice. So that was amazing, as well as, there's other things to do other than just gamble, right? And see shows. So Las Vegas obviously has been bringing over many new sporting arenas, and who knew that was going to be a destination, for actual sports. So there's going to be a new baseball team coming in as well. And he also, going back to the Sphere, when you watch it, gives us a little tidbit as to who may be going into residency next into the Sphere. So a lot of great things. So I can't wait for you to check it out. So let's take a look. I'm here at the Las Vegas Convention Center, joined with John here in the West Hall. And I know, John, there's a lot of things happening over in the Central Hall. So can you just share a little bit about what's going on here at the LVCC?
Sure. Sam, welcome to West Hall.
Great
to have you back.
Yes.
So excited to see InfoComm 2024.
It's around the corner.
Can't wait. Some changes coming along as they get here in 2024. You're going to see, obviously, you've seen the West Hall. Mm-hmm. It was here when you were here last time, which is great. We're super excited to have everyone back. But the West Hall is the finished product. It's now north and central. So the renovation has started in the Legacy campus. We're going to take the West Hall experience. So everything you see here, from the meeting space, public areas, into the exhibit hall, everything you experience here is going to take place and happen over in North and in Central. This 2-year project started in March of this year.
Okay.
We're starting in North. For those of you who come in June in 2024, you're going to notice that the front of the building has been ripped off, and hopefully by then you're going to start seeing replacement panels going up. We're going to add all of that natural light, all of that glass that you get to experience here is going to be taking place over there. Okay. In addition to, we're going to be expanding lobbies in North Hall. We're adding digital assets throughout the two areas. We'll continue this project through 2025.
Okay.
We will finish at the South Hall Bridge Room escalators. So by 2026, when you come back,
Yes.
it'll all be finished.
Oh, I can't wait for that. So it's so like just open and bright here. Like it's
We've
you
had
guys have been
so many
wonderful.
compliments. It's
Yeah.
just we just had to carry the project all the way through.
Oh.
So super excited about
Yeah,
that.
so good work there. So we can't wait to see what it looks like in
Good.
2026.
Little
Yeah.
little bumpy in 24.
Okay.
But we'll manage through it.
All right.
We're in it with you guys. We'll make sure everything is good.
We're in it for the long haul.
That's right.
And you
Just
know,
wait for 26.
well, if we need something to, help us cope with the bumpiness of things, I know that there's a nice new luxurious hotel that's just recently opened here. Can you tell us a little bit
The
about
Fontainebleau Las Vegas has opened in December of this past year, so it's only been open a couple of months. It is a beautiful 3,600 room hotel. It's got over 30 restaurants.
that? Wow.
500,000 square feet of meeting space. It's got nightlife. It's got pools. It's got everything you want, and it's a huge addition to the neighborhood because it is literally right next door to the West Hall.
So it's in walking distance.
Absolute walking distance. They even have an entrance on the across from Elvis Presley into the West Hall 4.
Okay.
So you can literally walk right across the street and right into the building.
That's very convenient because we know convention days, things are
Amazing.
very early.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's super convenient.
Really exciting. They've been great partners so far. They've been working with the shows, getting those shows room blocks for the attendees and exhibitors. So we're glad to have them in the neighborhood. And again, it's just another new property. Like, for instance, when you guys were here last time in 2022, Resorts World had just opened.
Yes.
So Resorts World has been great, tremendous property, great, advocate of the LVCC. You now have Fontainebleau and of course the Westgate. So, and of course even the Marriott across the street. So we've got a lot of hotel product in the neighborhood, which we didn't have before.
Well,
So that additional 3,600 rooms is a real bonus for
yeah,
us.
so I can't wait to check it out. And you said 30 restaurants over
Over
there.
30 restaurants.
Okay, so you're gonna have to give me a little cheat sheet.
I'll give you
which
a
ones?
couple of pointers on it.
Okay.
I've had a few experiences already.
All right. Okay.
Great
yes.
stuff.
We're gonna have to talk after this,
Really
and then we'll connect
good.
on that.
I love that.
So, in addition to fine dining and really good, food experiences,
Sure.
I know over the past few years, Las Vegas has gotten an influx of new sports teams. I know Allegiant just opened not too long ago, as well as T-Mobile. So, I'm hearing that there's going to be a new team coming in. Can you share a little
We
bit
have
about
a
that?
new team coming in. So the Oakland Athletics are making the move to Las Vegas.
Ooh.
I'm afraid Las Vegas has taken all of the Oakland teams here, starting with the Raiders. But yes, in 2028, the Oakland Athletics will make their home here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
It's very, very interesting, the site and the venue location. It's going to be on the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, which is currently home to the Tropicana Hotel and Casino, which just closed its doors a couple of days ago.
Definitely.
After being open since 1957. So we're losing an icon in the city, but we're gaining a brand new sports facility that'll be ready in 2028. 33,000 seats. It will have the largest digital marquee in MLB at over 18,000 square feet.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be an indoor stadium with the curtain wall, all glass, overlooking the strip as you look towards the outfield.
Now, does it open at all?
It won't open at all,
Okay.
but you'll be able to see to the northwest, right down the strip. It's going to be a
Wonderful.
tremendous venue.
I'm glad it's going to be enclosed because Vegas tends it can
to
get a little warm.
It can be a little warm. We've experienced it when you guys are here in June.
Yeah, just a little.
I'll remember always 78 in the building.
Bring a jacket and maybe a little personal fan.
That's exactly right. But in addition to not only building another venue and having another team join us, we had our inaugural F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix race this past year in November.
Okay.
Huge success for the city. Again, probably a little bumpy for those who had to experience the traffic and the delays that was created by having to resurface the entire circuit, which ran down Las Vegas Boulevard from Sands Avenue all the way down to Harmon.
Oh my goodness.
And then kind of created an island around the Caesars properties of Horseshoe and Paris and the Cromwell and so forth. But the experience overall was tremendous. Max Verstappen won again. He had already won the championship for that year anyway.
Okay.
But put on a great show. We were super excited about the international audience it drew, not only here to the destination, but media-wise.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what impact does having, Formula
Major
1
impact.
here?
So if you can imagine how many people watch the Super Bowl, almost 2 or 3 times that number watches the F1 race internationally.
Interesting.
So it's a tremendous international viewership. F1's growing in the U.S. in popularity, but it's the international opportunity that was just too good to pass for us as a destination, because we wanted to be able to showcase what the city can do, what experiences you can have, and everything that we have to offer the international attendee.
Wow, and so that's happening again next year.
It's happening again next year in November.
November,
Be the
okay.
last weekend or the weekend before Thanksgiving, and it'll continue again in 2026. So we have a 3-year agreement, 23, 24, 25. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 25 would be the last year.
Okay.
But there is an extension on the end of that for another 7 years. So we'll see if that gets activated at some point and goes another 10 for a total of 10.
So these are the things I have to plan for. So new baseball team, Formula
Baseball
One.
team, Formula One, Raiders, the NHL Stanley Cup champions, Vegas Golden Knights, and the WNBA Aces.
Oh.
2-time world champion Las Vegas Aces.
Okay, so
So we
there's
can't forget to mention those guys either, because
Absolutely
they are
not.
the winningest Las Vegas team.
Hey, the Caps won. You know. The
Well,
Caps,
then you had the Caps.
Okay, fine,
Yes,
that's
I
all
know.
right.
You had your shot.
had
You
ours.
took it.
Gosh, all right. So in addition to those things, I think I also need to add a tour of the iconic now Sphere.
So-
everybody's talking about it. So.
Everyone's talking about it. It's been probably the greatest venue to open so far, not only just in the destination, but around the world. The amount of social media that's captured with the Sphere in it is unbelievable from a number of impressions goes. But yes, the Sphere opened September 29th of 2023. A small Irish folk band, those of you may know it. U2 opened up
Think
with
I've
a
heard of
residency.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
might have heard of them.
Small.
Really, yeah, very small, not real well known, but nevertheless, great opening, great performances. I don't know if anyone ever had a chance to see them, but they were unbelievable. So next is Dead and Company, and then we have Fish as well. We'll be
Okay.
performing at the Sphere. I have heard rumors of another very popular band coming to the Sphere. Nothing's announced officially
Okay,
yet.
no tidbits, no teaser.
It's a bird of prey.
Okay. I
So,
have some ideas.
and it's the national bird of the United States.
Okay.
At least one word of it. So anyway,
Okay.
it is the Eagles.
I think
but
that's exciting
we
news. that
we
you're
don't know
breaking.
if it's true yet.
Okay.
But that is the rumor.
All right. Well,
So
we're
we're
gonna
keeping our fingers crossed.
hold on to. Maybe we're the first ones hearing this on Backstage
Maybe,
Pass. So.
unless you read it in our paper too, because it was already in the newspaper.
Okay,
So
fine. Shh, Backstage Pass. We're the first ones.
exactly.
that is
But so the Sphere opened, little over 17,000 seats. They're playing an amazing movie and production in that called Postcards from Earth, which is about a 50-minute film shot in 18K, which for those of us sitting at home watching our 4K televisions, thinking how great this is at 84 inches or whatever size you may have, this screen over here at 18K is something you've never seen before.
Okay.
It's a completely immersive experience. When you're in one of the scenes of this movie, they actually will blow the scent of oranges as if you're standing in the orange grove that you're looking at on the screen, and all of a sudden your wind is blowing, your hair is moving, and all you smell is oranges.
Wow.
It's tremendous. Other scenes have your seat vibrating, so completely immersive.
Goodness.
A really tremendous experience.
Okay.
And that's just half of it, because it's also all of the technology that's inside the Sphere that you get to experience before the movie. There's an hour-long period of where you get to walk around and see all the AI and all the robots and the humanoids that are talking to you and having conversations. Super cool.
Oh my goodness. So it sounds like there's so many things for our attendees for InfoComm to come and see.
And we've just touched upon a few.
I was going to say, it sounds like there's got to be a whole lot more.
There's a
so,
laundry list from everything from downtown all the way out to the south end of the Strip. There's just so many things to do in the destination, and I think the destination does a really good job of refreshing itself and recreating itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that every time you come, there's something new to see.
So what advice would you give some of our attendees, even those who've been before, but maybe some of the new
Plan in
attendees?
advance.
Okay.
All right, book your tickets, get your restaurant reservations made, your hotel rooms booked. I mean, because again, the city is under such demand and has been for some time now since we've exited the pandemic, that if you're not planning in advance, you may miss out on the opportune time to get into the Sphere or go see one of the sporting events that may be here. And again, during the summer months, even though we don't have a lot of sports during the summer, we do have touring Premier Soccer League teams coming in. So we do have a lot of things. So keep an eye out for what's happening in these venues above and beyond the sporting events, because they're wonderful venues for other entertainment
And
options.
is there a website that people can
So
go
visit
to?
lasvegas.com.
Okay.
Or Vegas Means Business. They're tied to each other, but we list all of the entertainment options that are available in the destination, and a very easy to read, very easy to follow calendar. So it breaks it down by category. So if there's certain categories of shows you want to see, again, sporting events, residencies, whatever you're looking for, That's the two websites you want to go to.
Okay, because there's a lot of shows there too.
And if you want to see the construction, VegasMeansBusiness.com will tell you a little bit about that too.
So we can check that out.
Drone footage updated every week.
Oh, wow. Okay, so things are staying current, so everybody can
Things are
just
staying
see
current, and you can archive it
things
as
are
well.
going.
So you can see when we started and go through each week and see the progression.
Well, I'm so excited about InfoComm being here again.
We are too.
2024 in June is just around the corner. John, I can't thank you enough for sharing all this information. I'm going to take all of your wisdom and suggestions to heart.
I'll send you the Cliff Note version.
Please do, and I'm going to start booking things as soon as I get back to my hotel.
As soon as you can. You don't want to miss out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, John.
Sam, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great interview, Sam. And, as if there weren't already enough things to get excited about doing in Vegas, I've just had a whole load more added to my list. So can't wait to get there and start putting those plans in action.
Same here. There's just so many things I'm looking forward to. And speaking with John just gave me even more things to add to my list as well. So really excited to do that in a couple of weeks.
I know, and I can't believe it's only a few weeks until the actual show, till we get out there. Seems like ISE was just yesterday, but can't wait to get out there, see you again, see the whole team, start getting this show on the road.
Yes, June 8th is around the corner. I've got my suitcases already kind of ready because I still haven't unpacked from some of the other shows that I was at. But it's going to be an incredible week at InfoComm. And I know before then we've got a couple more of these wonderful podcasts going on. So I know our next episode is going to be sponsored by our friends at Televic. So really looking forward to that, along with some of our other friends in the AV industry. So can't wait to do that with you.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So this has been another great episode. Once again, I'm your host, Samantha Powell, joined with Ben Barnard, and this is Backstage Pass.
Bye.